So this lesson is a lesson where you need to have a calculator in front of you in order to do this. And specifically this lesson is for the TI-84 calculators. If we're in class and we're looking at the TI-83 calculators, it's going to be very similar for this particular lesson, but there may be just a few buttons that are different. So as I go through the 84, if you're using a different calculator, just make a note to the side of any part that's different and we can talk about that in class. So your graphing calculator, we've talked about a lot of the features. Two of the things we haven't talked about are the stat button. And so the stat button is, let me zoom in on the calculator here. It's under your delete button right here. And it just says STAT, stat. So that stands for statistics. So you're going to hit the stat button and it's going to show the screen that is visible on this notes page, so the one right here that's yellow, and your first option says edit, and that's what your notes right here mean when it says one edit. It's the first option and it says edit. So go to stat, go to edit, and then you're going to type in the values for L1. Those values can be found on those numbers and hit enter after it, and it'll take you down to the next row. Fractions can be typed in using the fraction menu or by using division. Either one works. Write the decimal form of the values next to the original form. This will help to keep track of what each value is. So what that means in order, okay? Because remember when we list out our numbers, you're going to have to do some extra calculating, okay? So you're going to list all your numbers right here in L1. Once all the numbers are entered, you're going to hit that stat button again. Same place, same button. And then you're going to go to number 2 where it says sort A. A stands for ascending. D stands for descending. So it depends on which one you're being asked. So we're going to do sort A. And then where it says L1, right here in your parentheses where it says L1, that's for list 1, and that's a button on your calculator, and it's right here above the number 1. And if you remember from our calculator reference notes at the beginning of this, to get that little button right there, or that function right there, you have to use the second button. So you're going to hit the second button and then the number 1, and it'll type an L1 in your parentheses on your screen. And then you're going to hit stat edit again, and the values will be listed in ascending order for you. Okay, so you should have your calculator next to you, and while I'm going through this, you should be typing these things in to see if you get the right answer. Okay, if you're doing descending, you're going to have to go back to step 1, clear that L1 column, type in the numbers you want to sort in descending, go to stat, go to number 3 for sort D, and then you're going to hit stat edit again, and the values will be listed in descending order. Okay, so then you're going to write the numbers in order in their original form. So for example, 1/4 will be 0.25 in the calculator, but you're going to write 1/4 when it's listed at this page right next to it. So 10, 4, -2, 11, 0, -4, 3, 7, and 1. So you're just going to type this as you're going through. Now this first one doesn't have any fractions, but let's look at number 3. As you're going through, when you put 5 over 11 in that list, it's going to turn it automatically to 0.05. And so then you would come over here and write 0.05 so that you know that's what that is. And you can, we want to list them in their original form. And if you don't remember which one is which. So on this one, we're being asked to sort ascending for number 1. So I want you to try these 5 in your calculator, figuring out the right order and rewriting them in their original form, and there will be a self-check sheet for this. If you have had the calculator next to you going through this and it's not working for you, then when we're in class, let's talk about it together. If you're one of my virtual students and you don't have a calculator, you can use the Desmos app for most things, but I don't know that the Desmos app works well for this activity. So if you don't have a graphing calculator, just go ahead and sort these by hand. It's a little bit longer, but that's some extra sorting practice for you for comparing and ordering numbers. And so you're just going to make everything into decimal form and then put them in the right order and then put them back in their original number. If you're in class and you're kind of stuck, I can help you. Or if you're online and you're stuck and you have a calculator, request a Zoom with me, and that way you can show me your calculator and I can kind of walk you through each step. Calculator notes are just a little bit more difficult to do than regular notes, and I apologize for that. But the great thing is it's not required that you use a calculator, and you absolutely know how to do this by hand.